Welcome to an Autoworks quick tip, where you can learn more about your car. This time, we are going to be explaining how engines create and utilize the energy that is needed to run your vehicle. Before fuel is burned in the engine, it is sent to the fuel injector, where it undergoes an enormous amount of pressure and is converted into a fine mist that burns more efficiently. After this process, the fuel is sent through the intake manifold, where it is then sucked into the cylinder through the many separate intake valves of the cylinder head. When the condensed fuel is sent through the open intake valves and into the cylinder, the cycle of engine power generation begins. This cycle is initiated and maintained when the fuel is ignited by sparks, generated by spark plugs that reside in the separate cylinder compartments. There are 4 phases of this power generation cycle: the induction stroke, the compression stroke, the power stroke, and the exhaust stroke. The ultimate purpose of this cycle is to generate the power that is required to rotate the crankshaft. As the crankshaft rotates, it generates both the power required to rotate the flywheel on one end and the power to rotate the camshaft, or camshafts, on the other end. During the induction stroke, as the exhaust valve remains closed and as the intake valve opens, the piston shoots downwards. This creates a vacuum which sucks the fuel mist into the cylinder. During the compression stroke, the piston is driven back upwards, compressing the fine mist of fuel into a fraction of its original size. When the piston reaches its peak height in the cylinder, a spark from the spark plug ignites the combustible fuel. This initiates the power stroke, causing the fuel mixture to expand and shoot the piston downwards, driving the crankshaft. In the final step of the cycle, the exhaust stroke, the poisonous gas that is created through the burning of this fuel must be cycled out of the cylinder. An inverse of the induction stroke, this time the intake valve remains closed, while the exhaust valve remains open. As the piston pushes upwards, the exhaust is forced out of the cylinder through the opening left in the exhaust valve, and safely is sent through the exhaust manifold. This has been one of many forthcoming car tips from Autoworks that we hope you will find helpful to better understand your vehicle. If you have any questions, or if you have a topic that you would like us to cover in a future video, please leave a comment below.